We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them, and this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, see what's happening, what's possible, what is available to you for the week to come. And what a week it is, because it's Samhain on Thursday and Friday. There is a new moon in Scorpio. It is spooky ooky out there. I, for one, am thrilled. I'm so excited. I love this week, this time of year. I love a Scorpio new moon. It's gonna get deep. It's gonna get mysterious. And I hope you are all ready and along for the ride. Because, speaking of which, my Samhain spell circle, if you don't have plans from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on Halloween, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Central Time, you should come cast a spell with me, because it's going to be a blast. We're going to talk about the history of Samhain, where it comes from, how it differs today from the more ancient festivals, and then we're going to cast a spell. It's going to be like a manifestation type of ritual to build your magic, to help you focus your power for the dark months ahead. I'm very excited about it. And registration closes tomorrow, Tuesday, October 29th at 6 o'clock p.m. Central, because after that I will be sending out an email to everyone registered with like the details about the spell, any materials you would want to gather for it. So don't wait, sign up. It's going to be a blast. And I'll give it to you all too, as my faithful Spotify and YouTube and wherever listeners. If you use the code CRONE at checkout when signing up for the Samhain Spell Circle, you can get 10% off, and that's CRONE, all caps, Crone, 10% off your registration for the Samhain Spell Circle, because I love ya. Cool. And, oh yeah, and I also have a few spots open still for my Samhain 20-minute reading day on Friday, November 1st. So $44 for a 20-minute reading. Usually this is a rate that's only available when I do in-person pop-ups. So it is a rare occasion that you can steal this deal. So get into that too. All links and everything are in the episode description, as always. But let's get into it with the cards, shall we? Before we pull our messages, we always start with a few moments of breathing, of grounding, of casting our circle and setting container. So I'm going to invite you to join me in closing your eyes. If it feels safe and good to do so, you can always just let your gaze kind of settle down at your cheeks or land somewhere else out in space, and just take a couple of breaths here. Let your shoulders rise and fall. Your rib cage expand and contract. Feel the air moving in and out of your body. And bring your focus to wherever you're making contact with the ground, whether it be your feet on the floor, your seat in a chair, your back on a bed. Let yourself feel that point of connection. Feel the weight of your physical form being held in space by gravity and by the earth. I'm going to call to the spirits and guardians of the elements, and as I name them, imagine a circle of protection erecting around you, made from these elements, whether you see a circle of salt or a ring of stones or flowers or trees rising up from the ground, maybe a ring of fire or a moat of blue water, or a force field, a dome of air, or something, some combination of these, or something different altogether that feels aligned and grounding for you in this moment. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north, of earth, of the deepest roots and the tallest trees, of the stardust that gave shape to this planet into our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, the life-giving sun, the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal. Hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, of the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take a couple more breaths here if it feels all right. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Beautiful. All right. Let's get to the message, shall we? I am using the Antique Anatomy Tarot today because it feels kind of spooky without being like a straight up horror deck, though I do have a couple of those too. Oh, whoa, we've already got two jumping right out for us. The Queen and King of Swords. Whoa. Whoa! It's a talkative one. Wow. King of Coins as well. Big rumble in my window right behind where my phone is to record this, so sorry if you just heard a ruckus. We've also got the Page of Swords. They're called the Blades in this deck because we've got like knives and scalpels and stuff. This deck has both botanical imagery and imagery from and inspired by antique medical texts. Okay, lots of swords this week. And they're all coming out separately, so we know it's not just like a not shuffling the deck enough. I shuffled them thoroughly before we got going here, but we are just spitting out swords like it's nobody's business. So right away, we know that a focus of this week is going to be the mind. Okay, now we're getting into some other stuff. The mind, our mental acuity, our focus, our intuition is going to be very, very present. Wow. Okay, this deck is so talkative. We just lost a couple off the table. Come on. And now I can't get them. Please. Okay. We've got a few reversals too. Well, two reversals. Blocked energy. Is that all for us today? I like this ending that we have, so I'm okay if this is the end. It says no one more. Okay, that's perfect. All right. So, my friends, as I said, we started with the King and Queen of Swords. This was followed by the Eight of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles. So that's a lot. It's a lot, jumping right into things, right? So whenever both the King and the Queen of a suit come out together, for me, I really view it as like us being asked to fully step into what this element, what this suit represents, right? This is a blend of decisiveness, directness, communication, and protection. This is guidance without being pushy, but knowing as you guide that the direction that you're guiding people or yourself towards is really the only solution, but helping others or yourself figure out how to get there at the same time. With these two leading this reading, trusting your knowledge, your intuitive, like your gut feelings. A lot of people don't talk about like intuition with the swords. I always do, because especially when we get to the king and the queen of the suit, again, we have the knowledge and the experience to like be able to go with our first thought and know that it is probably the best. Not all the time. Not, first thought, best thought isn't always the right answer. This week, trust it. Maybe don't rush into pursuing that first thought, but whatever comes through your mind, your body, whatever ideas manifest, allow yourself to explore them fully. Trust that they are coming from a place of experience and knowledge, but by taking your time and communicating effectively, you can ensure that the idea is protected and fleshed out and given the full opportunity to shine. With the 8 of Swords in the reverse, I love the 8 of Swords in the reverse, as I am reading this as like blocked energy or something that is like heavy focus or like needs our attention right now. And so I love this as an exploration of how sometimes getting stuck in your mind or feeling stuck can give you the creativity you need, or can beget the creativity you need to cut your way, to make your way into the next phase, to really think and exercise your mind. And again, get creative with how you move forward. So if things have been feeling stagnant recently, it might simply be because you aren't listening to your king and queen, your like knowledge. You're second guessing yourself. Stop second guessing yourself and just wiggle a little bit. Just start to pull at the strings that are binding you and see what comes loose. The King of Coins then is a full groundedness, again, in your like ability and knowledge to create. A lot of the times, King of Pentacles, King of Coins, this figure can be, it gets projected a lot onto them that there's like a stoicism here, right? And maybe there is, but the pentacles are abundant. The pentacles are the physical manifestation of the creations of our mind. So when we wiggle ourselves free of the bindings of the 8 of Swords, we can bring the mental space fully into the physical. We can create the stability in our ideas that we need to help them bloom. The Page of Blades, the Page of Swords, also here to remind us to stay curious, even when we know the answer, even when we trust our knowledge, even when we know that we got this shit down. Stay curious. Yes, first thought, best thought. Yes, go with your initial impulse. And as you execute it, see where there is room to try something a little differently and see how you can get to the same result or the result that you had in mind, even if it means shifting as you go. Page of Swords, also speaking your truth, speaking your mind, letting what you think come out of your mouth. and seeing what happens, speaking into existence, right? Fully energy of just like potential of the mind. Again, we're very sword heavy. I have one more sword and then we get a little bit more fluid and like, there's more going on. But we're staying curious. We're trusting our minds and staying curious and trusting that like even if we shift and change, we can still make really magical things happen. 6 of Blades. I feel like this one came up for us last week. Am I making that up? It's definitely come up in a couple of readings since last week. So again, we are met with this idea of leaving something, of transition, right? Of moving from one phase to the next, which is very much New Moon in Scorpio, very much Samhain, like moving behind the veil. In this process, you are going to be asked what is worth giving up. What is worth leaving behind to get to more peaceful, more stable, and more open shores. More open shores where there is more possibility to explore. Whatever restrictions you're feeling, how many of them are self-imposed? Back to that 8 of Swords idea, right? So this week, really think about movement. Whether if you've been thinking like about literally physically moving, maybe explore that. But something needs to be left behind. Something needs to be shed. And I am personally being very much called out by this card. A way of being can no longer be carried because it is what is weighing you down. And your ship is going to sink if you continue pulling that along when you don't need it. The good news is that we have the Ace of Wands, the 5 of Elixirs, Cups, the 4 of Coins, and Justice in the reverse. I want to talk about the 5 of Wands and the Ace of Rods, the 5 of Cups and the Ace of Rods or Wands here. In that shift from the 6 of Swords, the 6 of Blades, anytime we leave something behind, right, we will feel some sort of grief or loss with that. But in that feeling, in that difficulty, in that moment of not knowing exactly what to do, Ace of Rods, Ace of Wands, that is when inspiration and motivation can truly strike. When you have no choice but to do something different is when something different makes itself known to you. Let this new moon peel off all of the layers, shed all of the skin, drop all of the baggage so that you can be light and free, and let whatever grief comes along with that show you how much possibility there really is. Because when we then come to the 4 of Coins, to this idea of stable ground and justice in the reverse. What does it mean to have a truly balanced and truly sufficient base or, stability? Truly sufficient, meaning not too much, not too little, but truly just enough to help you thrive. We're not overshooting. We're not giving up too much to the point where we are at a loss. But there is this exploration of what balance actually means. There isn't enough of it right now. And in the process of shedding so that you can come into what is meant to be, finding that balance again is going to be difficult. But you simply have to remember to keep your feet on the ground, to make sure you are resourced enough to get by on the day-to-day so that those scales can reach their equilibrium. But again, like I've said that, I'm sure I've said this before, that like true balance doesn't mean like equal of everything. It means being able to adjust and shift when certain things need more and other things can get by with less. Right? That's what I mean by like truly just enough. Find that place where everything is getting exactly what they need. And again, be willing to shift it. Be willing to adjust it even more. 2 more cards here. The Empress and the 7 of Coins. Babes, this is pure creation and foundation laying. The opportunity afforded to you once you get through this process to bring again like these ideas, this like thought pattern, this manifestation from the mind into the real world. Not just creating, but building, but laying the foundation down brick by brick so that you can truly lift and erect the tower that you want to build for yourself. The Tower card is not present, but building the life, building the structures, creating, and again, like manifesting, truly bringing something into the world. Getting your hands dirty while you do it. Yeah. Endless possibility. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. It's the Chariot. Remember your power. Remember that you have the motivation within you. You just have to find it. You just have to release all of the shit. I'm gonna have to put the explicit tag on this one. Release all of the shit that is keeping that motivation buried and tampered down. You have to make the choice to go, but once you go, there will be no stopping you. So get started. Just do it. Just make it happen. The process of getting it to the point where we're making it happen might take a little doing, might take a little exploration of self, but that's exactly what makes it worth it. Cool, my friends. That is the reading. What a beautiful Samhain week. Halloween, new moon, endless possibility. I love this for us. Awesome. Let's go ahead and close things down. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes once more if it feels safe and good to do so, or just let them settle somewhere in space. And take a few breaths to let these messages land and steep. Reimagine your elemental circle around you. Salt, fire, water, air, stone, plants. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth, blowing that elemental structure away, letting salt dissipate, fire extinguish, water flow away, air release. And elements of the earth sink back into the ground, opening the circle and releasing the energy. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Awesome. All right, folks, that is it from me today. You know the drill. All the things coming up are linked in the episode description. I posted a poll on my Instagram story yesterday about interest in doing a run of Tarotcraft, my 4-week beginner tarot course, in December, and there seems to be a bit of interest for that. So if you're not already on my newsletter, make sure that you are subscribed, link in the description, and there may be a fun announcement on November 1st with your tarot scopes. We shall see. All right, my friends, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Happy Halloween, blessed Samhain. I hope I see you on Thursday or Friday, but if I don't, I will be back here next week with more messages to share. Bye.